And hello everybody and welcome back to the stream, or if it's your first time here, welcome. Hope you're all having a fantastic Wednesday, or whatever day it is for you right now, and we are back as usual every week, every Wednesday, chill stream. No changes in the chill stream plans, so it's going to be Dorf today, so let's just get on into it instead of dillying around, dallying, whatever. I don't know what the English language is, so let's get into it. Alright, just gonna not click on the wrong game. You ever had your mind just glaze over and you hit all the wrong icons? Gotta not let that happen. Oh. There we go. This is recording. Cool. So if there is a stream world... Whoops, no, not that. If there is a stream world, it's probably this one, right? Right? I would assume. Oh, this is almost certainly just completely fucked in every single possible fashion. I suppose it's possible to find the correct thing to go here that would let... Oh, wait, this can let it cross over. Okay, well, not entirely. It still crosses over into this square. As long as we find a stopper or any sort of other sharp turn one that has multiple planes on it, we could eventually get that quest. But in all likelihood, it's probably not going to happen. Probably going to fucking die first, because we only have 9 cards I can see. Oh, great. Oh, wonderful. Oh, excellent. What a shit show. I wonder if connecting these would destroy them or be good for them. I have no idea. Well, there's a seam in the bridge a little bit. Might as well call this place Point Pleasant, huh? Ugh. Oh, that's even better. I like that. Oh, and that's also perfect fit. Man, it's too bad this place is about to fucking go up in smoke. So quickly. It has so many quests, though. Surely there's some fucking way for me to get these quests, right? Come on. There's gotta be a way. Well... Whatever it is I'm gonna do, I need to not contribute. I need to contribute to the quests that are like right here. They're literally right here. You know that's not happening. I say that like I said it, then I immediately don't follow it. Oh, and nice. That's pretty good. Oh no, a gigantic fucking forest quest. Oh, luckily there's a little entrance right here. Otherwise this would be completely fucking done in. We would just be done. No fucking chance whatsoever, if it were the case. I'm not muted, right? Right? Yeah, I'm not muted, yeah. Nope. And oh, well this would work. But it wouldn't contribute to anything going on here. But then again, we don't need to seal this up because we're not trying to seal it up. We need to use it actually for this big-ass quest here, so... Sure. Nope, sucks. Fucking sucks. Actually, I need to put this in a place that will actually get me points because I only have 2 goddamn motherfucking... I only have 2 cards left. So I need to play something that actually gives me... Okay, I think there's like literally no chance. Okay, we got 1 right there. Oh my god. Alright. We had to fuck up 1 tile to do it, but we got a quest. Now we only have 6 more cards to carry this on with. Are there any more? Yes, right, it's this shit. Ugh. Ah, the fucking house and the fucking forest were swapped would be literally perfect. What a fucking annoyance. Hey, I got 1 perfect, so I'd say that was a good one. Is there anywhere better? I think we're just dead, but I think we're just dead, but it's not impossible. Like I could put this here, but it doesn't get any bonus points, or it doesn't get any perfects, so it's not viable. It means probably have to put this here, even though we can't immediately use it. Whoops. Excuse me. Okay, I think we're just fucked. I think we're just dead. I think there's literally nothing we can do. Wait. 1. 1 point. Is it over? Father! Is it over? At long last. No king rules forever, my son. I see only darkness for me. Yeah, okay, we're just dead. We'll just pack it up and start another world. Nice. Right, so apparently closing these off doesn't actually help the quests, unless they want to be closed off. So even though I could close this off right here, apparently it's not helpful for me to do so, so I will not. I will instead just add on to this. Whoops. There we go. Well, that makes me want to quit, but I guess I shouldn't. Yeah, might as well, I suppose. Actually, wait. Oh. Sure, let's do that, actually. Oh, no. Glad we had just enough purchase to make that not be a fucking travesty. This is going well. Now that I've said that, though, it's immediately going to start going wrong. And I'm gonna be very upset. Damn. I feel like that was so close to being perfect right there, but like connecting them doesn't really do anything. Aha! We love to see it. It's becoming too specific. We need to try and keep that away. Let's put this here, actually. Okay. Aha! That's what I was looking for. Waiting for, I should say. Nice. I wasn't even trying to do the meme there, I just accidentally did it. Oh! Yeah! I like that. I like it when a special block comes together nicely like that. blank tile. We can put it right there. That works. Oh, wait, no. We'll get it perfect if we put it here. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Oh! Well, that ruins it, so I can't do that. But I can do this. We can maybe wind that around and connect back to it. Which should be pretty good. Uh-oh. Wait. Hey, there we go. That's good. Oh my. Well. This is looking like a traditional railroad track from real life, not a completely nonsensical railroad track that happens in Dorfromantik. This is actually going far, far away in one direction. This wants to be closed off, so now we have license to do so. Oh my fucking god, it's just one direction over. Zoop. Wonder how long I can maintain a single railroad track going only one direction, like this. I wonder how long I can maintain that before I lose. Maybe we'll try that right now. I'd love to put this here, but it gets fucked over by a bunch of other things. Oh my god. That is so stupid. That is so stupid. We'll do this, and then we'll start trying to pivot over in this direction. Excuse me. Might be better to do this. Oop, not that. This. Nope, that doesn't work. We have to put this somewhere else. Like maybe here? Then we need a water block with a tree on it that closes that, though, so that's... As tempting as that is, it's probably a bad idea, so... That also... This also does not work. Or that... Okay. Okay, let's not connect this to this railroad and put it somewhere else, so that we can have one railroad that just goes continuously. We'll put it right next to it, but not connected, you know? There's no reason to connect them right now. No rays and... Oh, what a fucking cruel world. That is one long forever rail. Yeah, I have decided I'm gonna try and make this a single straightaway railroad for as long as I possibly can before I lose. How long can a Dorfromantik railroad remain normal before it must become a pretzel? Goes to the other Dorfromantik. It goes into the board game. Like, all the players start with 10 extra railroads from the video game. I need to close this forest off, so I shouldn't put this here, because this isn't really reducing any surface area of the forest. Also, it's just weird because of the house and the plains. I guess I'll put it here. Oh. Sure. I don't know. I don't know how good that is, but trying it. Wow, that sucks. Okay. This is not lowering the surface area, so we shouldn't put it there. Oh, look, another railroad. Oh, wait. That's a risk, but my idea is that I'm gonna put like a water train station right there, like right here. Okay, this has potential to close off some surface area, or not. Whenever I think of a video gamified board games, I think of the Quilts and Cats of Calico one. I've never heard of that. Whoa. What's going on with that one? I have no idea what that is. Guess I can put that there. I don't really want to. Do I want to put it over here? Let's get over it. Oh my god, this is, damn it! Oh, I see. There isn't really a win. Oh, that sucks! Only it wasn't, if only it wasn't 3. If it was just 2, they'd be perfect, but... Okay, oh man. I think this railroad here is gonna get trapped. Oh man, I have such a good plan of trapping this railroad in here. Oops. Oops, I guess I fucked up. It's a cute tile game about finishing a quilt, and you unlock cats you can equip that then run and play around the board. Oh my god. What's its graphics? Because that sounds like something I could stream. Cute 3D graphics, nothing intensive. I'll have to go Google that after stream then. Because if it's a tile-laying game like this, that's cute like this, well then like we could always like interchange, you know? Not that I need more chill stream games, like I have a billion, but this one's the mood, you know? At least for this year. No, let's make this also symmetrical. Just like, ugh. It's like, the Klingon warbird. I don't actually know Star Trek really at all. The cats also act as extra hand space to hold spare tiles you don't want to play in. Oh, that is very cute. If that's not too intensive, then I'm gonna look into that. Oh fuck you, game. That's fine. I can't fit that there. That does not really work either. Honestly, it should be a mandatory feature. Every video game should have kitty cats in it. Every single one. Period. No exceptions. Uh-oh. This does not fit anywhere on my water tiles. This is actually a bad tile. That's... Uh-oh, that's not good. Where in the fuck? It doesn't even fit there. What the fuck? Okay, I guess that works. That doesn't work. Uh-huh. Interesting. Okay. Doesn't matter where I plug it in around here. It's way too much. No! Fuck! Son of a bitch! Okay. I can't bear myself doing it. I can't. But where the fuck else do I put this? Oh, it doesn't even fit there. I guess I can put it here. Shame there's not an undo button for a misplace. Do you mean in the kitty cat game? Because in this game there is. You know, it's right here. But it only undoes it by one, not by all. I was talking about this game, I just missed it. Yeah, I'm not. I use it a lot more when I'm playing like offline because it's so easy to do, to remember. Yeah, you can undo one tile deep, but that's it. You can't undo any further. Oh man. This was promising when it started off. Now it is spooky. At least we have 31 still, though. Another one of these, huh? Oh, you bastard, you ruined it. Okay, Where is Omni-Man? Oh, wow. Okay, this is actually great right here. Maybe I put it like this, though, so that those are connected. This wants to be closed off. This one is like... This one also wants to be closed off 3 times as much, so... Talking makes all tasks significantly harder. Yeah, to a certain extent. Even if it's just small chatter. Are you serious? Wow. Jesus. Like this right here is pretty good, but the house clips into the railroad. It doesn't, and over here it doesn't even work at all. So yeah, it would take way more than 8 for it to loop around all the way. Maybe I just start a new one over here. As much as that sucks. Let's put this here because it moves us closer to closing that off. Why? Why, game? Why must you do this to me, game? Why must I cry? Why must I cry? Finally, another straight track. The stream is only for straights, okay? Only this railroad is only for straights. Only straights allowed. Okay, only for 4 words? Filthy 4 words. Before you know it, I'm just banned. I'm getting another railroad stop. What the f- What the hell? What the fuck? Yeah, that just blows them all up. That sucks. I don't want that. Let's put it there, I guess, because there's nowhere else to put it. Aha! Another straight track. It's trying to curtail your ambitions of the forever rail. The game knows my plan. It wants to beat me at it. But not yet. Maybe later. Because I only have 20... I have less than 30 tiles. And a bunch of undone quests on the board. Will I ever fix Microsoft to-do list right there? Probably not. I'll probably promptly forget about it after the stream is over. And then I'll be annoyed by it next time instead. Turn to... Oh, that's almost perfect. But it's just a little bit too incorrect. Just barely incorrect. Man, this house cluster doesn't want to be closed, but or doesn't need to be closed, but if it gives me a tile to do it, then I guess I'll do it. Damn it. Okay, I guess this goes here. That ain't fitting there, that ain't fitting there. Could fit here, though. That is so ugly. Oof. I think it's time for me to enter the Labyrinth of the Demon King. I plan to stay listening, though. Just won't be watching as much. That's fine. Any streamer who is under the illusion that people are watching every single moment of their stream, or they're just being stupid. Like, obviously, people minimize us. And, like, literally, they minimize the window and listen while doing other things. That's kind of the point. Labyrinth of the Demon King. I feel like that's the name of an adventure in D&D. But I don't know. It's like one of those crusty Kingsfield-like games that came out recently. Oh. I regret to say that I do not remember Kingsfield off the top of my head. I've definitely heard of Kingsfield before, but I do not remember what it is off the top of my head. Why must I cry? Why must I cry? Why? Tell me why. Kingsfield is a series of clunky, slow-paced dungeon crawlers made by FromSoft before the Souls games. The clunk is part of the enjoyment. Oh, okay, alright. Are they turn-based? Is that how clunky... are they so clunky that they are literally, like, turn-based? It's real-time, okay. That inspires panic in the average gamer. God damn it. Oh my god, we have 9 left, we're fucked. The actual first Kingsfield for PS1 ran at like hard-capped 15 FPS, or else the PS1 would melt from being too demanding. That's fucking hilarious, actually. That's like the opposite of Pirate Software's coding, apparently. That's crazy. But is it intensive because of, like, just the complexity, and that's why it's hard-capped? So they just worked the entire game around that slowed FPS cap and made it stylized to blend in. Oh, that is smart. That is smart. That is what we call smart. Gotcha, bitch! Okay. Whoa, wait, that's not the place. That's the place, right there. The combat is a lot of footsies to provoke a long attack animation, so you can then do your long attack animation and step in just as the animation should connect to avoid their blow and make yours. That's present in quite a lot of games that have like free roam combat with animation hitboxes. But man, the game must be old. It must be one of the earliest ones to do stuff like that. Fast attacks aren't an option. Well, then it's just, you know, it's just guerrilla warfare. It's just hit and run, you know, in the sense that you have to keep moving the whole time, not that you can just do things quickly and run away. They're all slow, high commitment. Hey, you know, if it works, it works. Okay, what's this? That is a forest quest. That's right next to our forest, which is pretty good. That's pretty good placement for a forest quest. That's probably also a forest quest, right there. Oh, come on. Okay, Fuck. No, I shouldn't do that. I really should not do that. No. That's gonna be a big fat nope. Almost perfect, but not actually. I guess I'll put it here. I'm in dire straits, so I should probably lay this here. Even though it fucks everything up. But then again, maybe I don't need to. Yeah, no, I think I need to, actually. Hey, there we go. Ugh, this is not advantageous whatsoever. This is fucking bad. I think we just lose, really. The long track did not work. Maybe we would have lost with or without it. Who knows? We put this right here, we'll get a singular perfect, and that could keep us going a little longer. Oh hey, this game lets me invert both my X and Y if I use controller. Well, that's good. I guess. I've never played inverted. I've either played normal or just customized. My left must look right, and my down must look up. It is the law. Okay. Interesting. Do you have dyslexia by any chance? I'm joking. I kid. This is not what we want to do with this. But I'm gonna lose anyway. I orient by the back of my head. I don't know if I understand, but I'm sure there is a reasoning to it. Yes! Got another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. So if I want to look IRL, I gotta rotate the back of my head left. Yeah, that sounds like dyslexia. What the... Wait a minute. Wait, what? I think it's part of why mirrors are so difficult for me, is that orientation. My brain shuts down trying to move things in mirrors. Huh. Interesting. I'm not a psychologist, so I don't know how to like reckon any of that, but that's interesting. Whew. Now that fucks that up so much, though. That demands so much. Oh, I think, okay, now we're probably gonna lose. I don't know if there's any saving what we're doing right here. Dire Straits. This fucks this up a lot, actually, because we need 5 more squares here, but we only can add 4. So that means we have to do this. Or that. Oh yeah, no, we have to do it like this. Jesus. Ooh, Jesus. Yeah, I figured that would be destroyed by that. So we will have to do that. Okay, yeah, I think we just lose. I don't think there's any place I can put this that gets us more duration. So I think we're just done for. Okay, Forever Railroad didn't really work. Let's play as normal. No! Jesus, come on, man. This is not promising. Why? Why? Oh, come on, man. No, we shouldn't do that because of the fucking water right there. The tutorial guy is a horrid little two-tailed demon. I love him. Oh, fuck! That is probably never gonna get closed. Unless hell freezes over. This is a shit show. This is an absolute shit show of a fucking world I have here. This is really bad. This is unbelievably fucking bad. Nice! Yes! Show me your moves. Has Captain Falcon been in more crossover games than his own games? I feel like there's like 3, maybe 4 F-Zero games, and then there's like, what, like 5 Smash Brothers? Motherfucker doesn't get enough games. Shite. Looks like 11 games and an expansion kit for one of them. Wow. 11 games and an expansion kit for whatever this series is you're speaking of. That sounds like a big deal if it's not expensive. If it's like $100, then it's like, oh well, go fuck yourself. Oh, you were talking about F-Zero? Did it really have 11 games? I feel like there hasn't been an F-Zero since F-Zero GX. F-Zero GX was in, like, 2006? Okay, the recent one in 2023, that was actually the original F-Zero, but it was repackaged into a battle royale. So it wasn't really new. It was just a multiplayer mode for an old F-Zero game, is what it actually was. But like in terms of like an actual new full functioning game, the last one was F-Zero GX in the 2000s. Like it's an old GameCube game, and I know because I played it a lot with my brother. So I am very surprised that there are 10 games. Did they all come out in the 90s? Like, what the fuck? Huh. The only release after GX was F-Zero Climax a year later for Game Boy. Game Boy. I don't want to be too mean to mobile gaming, or rather to old mobile gaming, but old mobile gaming kinda fucking sucked. It sucks even worse now, but old mobile gaming also kinda just fucking sucked. You know, if Nintendo hadn't basically made their entire persona be, we are now making a console that is also a handheld, and you will get nothing else. If Nintendo didn't do that, then, you know, old mobile gaming practices would have just stopped existing after smartphones completely. GX was 2003 for the GameCube. That's forever ago. Literally, it is a vintage racing game nowadays, which is utterly insane for me to think about, because I don't know if I have, like, a problem with object permanence or something, but I feel like I have barely changed since I was, like, 14. And I was still playing GX when I was that age. You aren't old, streamer, you are vintage. No! Ah, I'm melting! Why would you point out that I'm a geezer that's childless? Oh! That I melt. Children are expensive, no thanks. Yeah, but if they were affordable, then it's kind of just like, you know, the imperative of life. Like, obviously nobody can, like, say it's my fault because of how fucking difficult it is. But Jesus Christ, is it sort of the ultimate gotcha game is children. Oh, I can almost put this here, but it fucks up with the one thing, so I can't. Bum 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 ba-dum. Bum 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 bum. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha ha ha. This doesn't work either. It's very close, but it doesn't actually work. Nice! Yes! Okay. Fuck you, game! It was just a little bit different. Give birth and an anime star explosion occurs as it tells you the rarity and rating of your child and asks if you want to pay $49.99 for another 10 rolls. It neglects to point out that the $49.99 is 49K and then $999. And it's per roll for 10 rolls, not for all 10 rolls at once. That's how you get the premium edition children. Well, yeah, that's what the size 2 font is for. It's in the fine print. Proceeds to use fucking microscopic, $1 million technologies for the sole purpose of putting text into contracts that is literally impossible to physically discern. This almost fucking works too, but it just barely doesn't. Fuck! Literally using pen and paper devil techniques. Yep. Faustian pacts. You know what's funny is that I'm a fucking moron, and I didn't even realize that Faustian actually comes from a real mythological origin in Christianity, I think. Something about a priest named Faust who locked himself in a church. Something like that. I didn't even know that until I randomly heard it while watching Bible shit. And no, I am not a Christ fig tree of any kind, but Bible stuff can be fun. It can be fun sometimes because it can be interesting mythology. Literally a new dude named Faust. Yeah, it's like a German name or something, right? Or something like that, within that Germanic area of Europe. So I guess there could be Belgian shit as well. I'm not gonna lie, I don't actually know anything about the fucking layout of Europe. Those countries might not even be adjacent to one another. All I know is that Austria, Germany, and Belgium are sort of very, very similar. But they aren't necessarily directly next to one another. Not quite beers, babes, and blades enough for me. Well, yeah, only America can do that. Only in America. Or, oh wait, no, are you British? Are you British? Is that what you mean? Vikings. Vikings are cool, yeah. Making me crazy, making me crazy. Oh? Hey. That's a decent close-off position. Could be way fucking worse. The fact that this fucking tile here has a double forest on it, rather than something that I would actually want. got on Demon King sprinting while it disables stamina regen, doesn't actually consume it, so I can forever sprint while backtracking. Yeah, you always love... Don't you just love when a game genre is solved? And as a result of it being solved, all you really need is more stories for a campaign and more quality of life changes, and then boom, you have a new game that is still good, but it's so rudimentary that it probably didn't cost the studio too much to make, because it's already been solved. They don't need to innovate, and that's totally fine sometimes. All you need is quality of life. Oh my god. It rained today. Saw a little lightning. And I'm also extremely congested. I wonder if they are related. I wouldn't be surprised if they were. Nice. I don't know. Oh no. Those were not good placements, but I'm not otherwise sure what the fuck to do. Seeing a worm demon eat a man's torso to Dorfromantik music was a peak experience. The most peaceful of music. Tunes to listen to while Cthulhu kills you. You have hope you will be happy in the afterlife. Is it pronounced Lo-fi or Lo-fi? Because I've never known, because I don't really have any... I have, like, literally no clinical understanding of music genres, even the vaguest. But as for solved genres, I'm all for the same mechanics, new story, plus QL buffs and games. Well, yeah, like... Literally, like, if you've solved a game, then just allow it to be solved. I know that Call of Duty gets a lot of shit, for being the same game over and over again, but if we're gonna be realistic, every single Call of Duty game has a new campaign that links more story in and does all this crazy shit, and, like, isn't that kind of worth $60 if you're gonna be at it for, like, at least 8 hours? Because in my opinion, if you like campaigns for that series, well then, of course it would be. But people get too hung up on looking for certain imperfections sometimes when they don't necessarily exist. Or worse, rather than doing QOL updates, the company just becomes more greedy and they just try to give you the same game with a new campaign, but with, like, less features or something. Lo-fi is the intended way, but honestly, if you said lo-fi, people would probably know what you meant, and that's good enough for communication. I mean, I'm gonna sound like a fucking moron anyway, so it doesn't quite matter. It's just a question that came to me because I realized that I have never in real life ever seen somebody attempt to pronounce it. Like, I've never seen somebody pronounce it ever, even once. And you know, I don't know if I'm just music illiterate, or if it's just not even, like, a real thing. In our brand new shooter, we've removed single player altogether, introduced a new mechanic called pay by reload. Yeah, basically. Like, that's the type of shit that ruins games that have been solved. Because, like, once the game is solved, rather than the devs being like, okay, we're just gonna use a solved game and just make it better every time. Instead, it's more like the corporate board is like, okay, how can we make the same exact game again, but with even less resources? Oh, we'll just remove stuff, and they just won't notice because they're stupid gamers. And, you know, that pisses people off when that happens. That makes people lay angry. Lay angry. To a tremendous extent. But yeah, like, if video games literally were just that, just, we remake solved game, we make new solved games, but give them more content, and then if that was gaming, and then we occasionally had rare instances of innovation, well then the industry would basically just be perfect for both consumers and devs. Imagine WoW is a fully free-to-play MMO, but every loading screen costs 10 cents to finish. That would create a very strange subculture in World of Warcraft where people would be like, they would be super World of Warcraft cheapskates. Where it's like, you get into your party in World of Warcraft, and then, like, the 5th member of your party insists that he is going to fly all the way to the dungeon in order to cut costs. and then all you people who were willing to pay 10 cents have to wait like 10 minutes for this motherfucker to manually fly all the way over to you without using any load screens, or with using as few load screens as possible. But then even funnier is that would also make WoW even more exclusive than it already is, because people who lose would have less incentive to play the game, because losing means would mean that you lose money. So, like, everybody who's bad at World of Warcraft would stop playing, and therefore they would stop paying, and so then World of Warcraft would rely entirely on whales, and that won't be sustainable because whales will always eventually move on to something that suits them better for their whale bucks. You know? Unless, of course, you are making games that are solved, and you are not making them badly, with bad practices, well then you're gonna lose your whales eventually. That's what these companies don't understand. Like, whale gamers, they're unwise, but they're not stupid. Like, unless they're dark side Phil, you know. The beautiful but eventual migration of all whales to the graveyard that is Star Citizen. Weren't there people who paid like tens of thousands of dollars? I remember listening to a podcast like 10 years ago. Like, no shit, like 10 years ago. I believe I was listening to like The Dick Show or something. And there was some motherfucker. No way, I was listening to Mr. Medicare. That's what I was listening to. And there were motherfuckers who literally paid like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars into crowdfunding that game. And then, like, the only thing that they got, like, that year was a CGI Mark Hamill. It was just, like, CGI Mark Hamill mocap. And, like, the podcast host called up some of these people who paid that money into the game, asking them what their fucking mindset was, and they had no fucking clue how to fucking explain themselves. Like, they just really had no idea how to explain themselves. Because it was just so blatantly unjustifiably stupid. Well, excuse me, blatantly, you know, unwise. Because you're not stupid for using your money the way you want. What you are is you're unwise if you use it for things that are gonna make you broke and unhappy. Like, oh, I'm gonna buy hookers and coke with my millions of dollars. And then in 3 years, I'm going to be washed up, a drug addict, and have 10 venereal diseases. I want to be a pretend spaceman! Yup. That's the only explanation they can give. There is none else. You know what's funny is that when you first wrote that comment, I thought you meant Starfield, and I was like, oh no. Oh no. But no, Star Citizen is, kind of even worse, because it hasn't even been released yet. It's scammed a lot more people than Starfield did. At least by the numbers of, like, the thousands of dollars stolen. I gotta say, like, I haven't played Starfield, but I don't think I've ever seen a NASA punk game that was, like, more boring to look at. Like, it just looked boring to, like, just appearance-wise. The idea of even being able to afford $10K into a video game is so wild to me. I'm not gonna lie. I have probably, through sheer technicality, throughout my entire 30-year lifespan, I have probably spent $10K on video games in total. For, like, my lifetime. And even then, I'm not even certain. That might be me highballing or lowballing slightly. Because I've played live service games, you know. I used to play League of Legends. But even when I played League of Legends, I played it, the way I handled the microtransactions is that I only bought things that were on sale. And you can tell me that, yes, that is also you just spending money and you're falling for their plan, their ploy, because that's the point of having sales. It's on sale! But it's also undeniable that if I had spent full price on any of those things, that was just objectively, I would be much more broke. If you went to Starfield expecting a Bethesda experience, then it's not really that bad. I guess so. It's one of those games where one day I'm definitely gonna try to play it, but only after I have 1,000 mods installed into it. Because otherwise, it would just be fucking boring. Because, like, it just has this visual appearance of being really boring. That's games plural with different experiences attached. Yeah, true. Like, I've probably paid thousands of dollars to World of Warcraft and League of Legends over the course of, like, 10 years. Like, I played World of Warcraft way back in 2008. Like, I was, like, leveling... My character was, like, level 58, like, when Wrath of the Lich King came out. Right? So I played World of Warcraft for, like, 10 years. And so... there's technically just a large bill attached to that as a result. In League of Legends, it's very easy to go into a money sink, even if you refuse to pay things for full price. But it is certainly way different than, I'm gonna spend $10,000 on a game that does not exist yet. And it's like a do not redeem, you know? It's like you're falling for a scam, you know? I went into Starfield expecting a Bethesda game and not some grand space explorer RPG, so it was an okay experience for me that I got my money out of it. Spending $10K on a possibility, yeah. Like, whenever I go to play Skyrim, I completely understand that the game's plot is fucking awful. Or rather, it's very bland. And the result is that I just have 1,000 mods whenever I try to play Skyrim. But if you do end up asking me, like, oh, is the actual plot good? I would inevitably just laugh and be like, no, it's pretty fucking bad. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like sometimes people deserve to have higher expectations for the companies. Like, I know that Bethesda games, like, have this infamy at this point, but why? It's like, come on. How do you make a fucking NASA punk game about, like, time travel loops, and yet it's somehow, it just visually looks and feels forgettable? Bethesda literally hasn't changed in its delivery since Daggerfall? I don't know, people seem to really praise Morrowind and Oblivion, though I've seen enough gameplay of Oblivion to know how fucking much people see that game through rose-tinted glasses. That game is so stupid. But, like, I have seen nothing but praise for the way Morrowind works. But then again, at the same time, I have heard that the Morrowind's, its RPG systems are also very weird, like mischance and all that stuff. I love Daggerfall, Morrowind, and Oblivion. I don't think I'd call them good games. That's interesting. Usually people, you know, would die on the hill of, oh, this game is at least good to me. At least I like it and I feel like it's good for me. It is interesting, though, being like, oh, I love this game. It's shit, though. Then again, that's how I am with Magic the Gathering Arena, so I can't really, Actually, no, I'm not like that with Magic the Gathering Arena at all. I hate that game, and I still play it. And I also think it's bad, but I still play it. Because that's, like, I guess, a problem that I have. I guess. People conflate quality with enjoyment with quality. Yeah, that does happen at times. You gotta be careful, though, or else you end up getting really close to that corporate developer mindset of, oh, you know, you think you want this, but you don't. Where it's just like, they're going off statistics, and they're like, you know, yeah, you say this game is low quality, but you keep buying it, so clearly you actually want it. And you want it to be even worse. Like Dwarf Fortress, love it. It's super fascinating. It is strictly not good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the point is that it's a game about losing. But Dwarf Fortress is also one of those games where it's like, there is no amount of me being a tabletop role-playing game player that is going to give me the imagination to make any of the visuals of the original Dwarf Fortress not make me want to KMS. ASCII is ask good. I can't do it, man. I just can't. And this is me who grew up with StarCraft as my first video game that I loved. And that game is not, like, visually perfect at all. It is a blob sprite nightmare. And so it's just, but like at the same time, it's nowhere near, like, just the idea of downgrading that much to ASCII, I just can't make myself do it. It's a lot to ask anyone to play a game made of keyboard symbols. Yeah, I would say so. I would agree with that. It is quite a bit. I totally am able to understand how it would be interesting to investigate, but I just can't pull through. I'm happy that I can do it, but understand when others can't. It's like all those it's like when people can't really play retro games anymore because like the graphics are so primitive that they like literally cause like eye strain, you know? Like, wow, this bootleg original Nintendo Super Mario has like this color-coded, it's color-coded in a way that makes me feel like I'm going to have a stroke. And it literally hurts to look at. Oh no, where do I put this fucking... You know, we have more than 30, I shouldn't be bitching and whining. Fuck. I don't blame someone for not wanting to look at D&D Stronghold Kingdom Simulator. You see, that's weird. That's the funny part, though, for me, is that I'm a tabletop RPG gamer. And I often play without, like, a mat. Like, I often play, I even do the combat without, like, miniatures and a playmat. But for some reason, like, you cannot show me a retro game that is asking me to use my imagination, and also then use any amount of color coding that is extremely primitive, or else my brain just explodes. Oh, right, we want to connect these. We don't need to be desperate, though, about it. It's a different kind of motivation to use your imagination. Yeah. True. Really wish I could put that there, but I can't. Nor there. I guess I can put it here. Hope it doesn't fuck everything up. I do all my pen and paper through voice calls. Oh! Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I tried doing pen and paper through Discord. When people need it, we boot up something like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, or Foundry. We own a lot of books, so we don't need a lot of websites like that. Also, we've made our own system that at some point we will somehow find a way to monetize, I guess. Someday. No, we are actively working on it. It's just it's slow when it's a two-man team. And one of them is disabled, and the other is an autist. The websites mainly get used for maps. Recently we used Donjon, which is funny because like I used Donjon like 10 years ago, and it's still basically here and like not really the same program, but it's very, very similar to how it always was even back then. Donjon's still a good resource. Yeah, I was surprised at how unironically good it still was after all these years. Damn, that was close, but not quite. Damn it. All right. Oh, wait. This works. Nice. I didn't even realize. No, that's gonna lock us there. I shouldn't do that. I don't want to do that, but I guess maybe. God damn it. No, I don't want to go in that direction. I don't know why I would want to go in that direction. There's no reason to go in that direction. There we go. So I could have placed one more, but I didn't realize. But that's fine. Ugh. What the... I just had one of those like those deep tissue hiccups where it's like not a real hiccup, but it has like all of the same qualities of a hiccup without being one. And it always feels like it's like a hiccup but in baritone. Like, because your fucking inner body just flexes. Our group is about to wrap up a Pathfinder campaign, so we've been talking about if we want to do more of that or try something like Cyberpunk Red. I don't know what Cyberpunk Red is. I mean, I know that Cyberpunk is originally a it is originally a ttrpg before it was turned into a video game. But I haven't played it before. The system me and my brother have made it's taken more than a decade, but we've been comfortable with it, so. Red is just the most recent edition, right? That makes sense. Oh man, this is totally unrelated, but like well, not totally unrelated, but like the game Warframe, the company that makes that game has like their own convention they do. and they actually announced that they're going to do a tie-in Warframe campaign with the Starfinder tabletop RPG, and that felt so random. Because if you ask me from my first-hand experience, Starfinder fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Starfinder was like one of the first tabletop RPGs that I played entirely by book. And its mechanics ultimately did not make any fucking sense. I hear Starfinder 2E is improved upon Starfinder 1E. Well, it has been like 5 years or more since I tried the original Starfinder. So maybe the second edition is better. I wouldn't necessarily know, though. And at this point, I'm also very invested in, you know, my own system and my own business. I could always give it a look, though. I think the problem is that both Wizards of the Coast and Paizo, like both of those companies have done done wokeoid shit, and so I always end up worrying about the quality of those TTRPGs, because these days, like, I don't know if I can trust that they have real game devs actually trying to make the games better. Although I think you'd struggle to make it worse. Yeah, it's kind of... because of my experience with Starfinder, it is very hard to make a TTRPG that's that bad. It's so bad. The original. Because so one of the problems with the original is that they had an entire section of their main handbook where they were like, do you want to convert classes from Pathfinder into Starfinder classes? Here's a step-by-step process of how to do it. And then I went by the step-by-step process, and all of the classes from Pathfinder were so overwhelmingly overpowered when ported into Starfinder that I don't even know why they bothered to even have like I don't know why they bothered to have this section about how to port the other classes if it literally ends up not working even within its own boundaries that it sets for you. And so the result is that I had a party when playing Starfinder. I was the DM or the GM or whatever. I had a party that had like 3 underpowered characters, and then 1 character that was so fucking overpowered it was unbelievable. I had to like custom tailor everything I was doing. And I was also I was trying to level them up every single encounter, which required me to give them encounters that were so fucking dangerous that it felt like there were multiple times where a character got one-shot killed. Because the only way for me to make an encounter that would level them up after the encounter would be to make one that was egregiously difficult. I really don't think Paizo has done anything genuinely on a woke scale. It's just usually some people overreacting to seeing consent on paper. They released a small handbook, though, that was very out of place, because it was like a behavioral guide. And it had like weird woke shit in it. Like the stuff that was in it was either like weird woke shit, or it was like stuff that was patronizing, like treating the players like they were like toddlers. Because there's some things that it's very obvious when it's like you know, a cultural taboo or a social taboo, and the book is like, oh well, you shouldn't do this obvious thing that is obviously socially taboo, and it's like, what? I don't think you need to tell us that. I don't think it's necessary to tell us about that. But yeah, the original Starfinder was fucking terrible. Which sucked because I was doing a homebrew setting that was based upon all of the good aspects that I considered to be good from the Alien and Predator canon. And so I was really invested in that campaign. I was so fucking hyped for that campaign. And then the system itself was fucking dog shit. We literally had a blow up around the time of a major pen and paper group getting disbanded on Twitch because the GM forced a grape scene on a player. Really? I never heard about that. If I did hear about that, then I have forgotten, but I also feel like I wouldn't have forgotten something that serious. But then again, this was years ago. I might be thinking as far back as 10 years, I guess. Yeah, 2016. So if I don't remember it, I guess it's because it was just such a long time ago. Clearly somebody needed it, therefore. I mean, I guess that's not totally incorrect. You know, kind of like how fucking Smash Bros. Players needed to have Nintendo make a tournament not Nintendo, but whoever organizes, like, Smash Bros. Tournaments, they had to make a policy. Like, the policy had to be that you had to have, like, washed yourself before coming to the tournament, or else you'll be kicked out. So, I mean, I guess there are, like, a lot of types of gamers that do need to be reminded of, social etiquette, I suppose. It's still pretty patronizing, though, when a company feels like it needs to lecture its audience, because I don't know if I would say that the majority of tabletop players need instructions like that, you know? Like, like, just because there are, like, Reddit stories of people being very cringe while playing ttrpgs, such as forcing weird, like, sexual assault themes into your game. Like, just because there are a few of those every now and again doesn't really mean that the majority of us need that, even vaguely. In fact, I think the fact that people often remember and are outraged by that type of thing, that is the immediate clue in that this is not normal, and the majority of the players know it's not normal and they think it's cringe. I've had plenty of bad experiences with creepy, unwashed people. I certainly had some when I was a teenager, going out to Magic the Gathering pre-releases. There were always a good handful of morbidly obese, sweaty dudes whose ass cracks were hanging out of their pants. They come equipped with their +5 front butt. Oh, God. Oh. Jeez. Yeah, there's, I don't know how some obese people are able to even just allow it to happen. Like, I cannot imagine having so much fupa. Like, I feel like I would just want to commit Sudoku, okay? If I had as much fupa as, like, some of these morbidly obese people have. Oh, God. But yeah, it's easy to get outraged as a reasonable person when you hear of wild motherfuckers, but you forget those degenerates exist. Like, I forget that about 19% of the U.S. are considered illiterate. Yeah, that is a current. Apparently, illiteracy rates are rising because of this tablet generation of children. Apparently. But yeah, I won't lie, yeah, it is pretty... I do sometimes realize how fucking stupid the rest of the population is. Man, we only have 11. That's, not... Maybe the stream ends with us losing. We have to start a new world next stream. People are quick to blame tech on issues like illiteracy, when it's probably the underfunded, now basically defunded education system. I will not, again, I won't lie, I have not nearly enough experience with current day public schooling to know exactly what the quality of it is right now. I went to public school until I was 14. Then I was diagnosed with a disability. Then I left and homeschooled, and then I got a GED. So basically, I never went to high school, but I have an equivalent of a high school diploma. So, well, I mean, I went to an online high school for some number of years. I still wasn't able to really get through it, but turned out I didn't need to, because I was already smart enough to do a GED. So... Blaming tablet babies for not being able to read feels the exact same as blaming D&D and Doom for violence in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, because it does technically come down to a raising problem. My issue personally isn't to literally say the tablets are the problem, as much as it is me saying that it's the fact that there are Gen Z parents and young millennial parents who thought it was acceptable to raise their children using a tablet, which is technically not the fault of the tablet. But the technology did also enable them to do that. Does that mean we should get rid of tablets? No, we should be holding the parents accountable, obviously. But if the public schools are also really that bad, then that's also a quantifying factor. I haven't been in them in such a long time that I don't know how bad they have got, how much better or worse they've gotten than when I went to school in the 2000s. Maybe it was unbelievably bad to the point of absurdity, for all the fuck I know. Varies a lot by state. Well, I live in Ohio, the best state that actually rules the world, you know, always has been. And, you know, the public school I went to, kinda shit. Pretty shit. But it wasn't as bad as the worst of horror stories that I had heard. I fucked up this tile here, but I don't care. I needed to get those. I was below 10 right there. Do I do the same thing for this? No, I have 20. I'm back up to 25. I think I can That's probably a bad idea. Let's put it here. My school experience was lesbians and alcohol, so it could have been worse. What? Are you Russian? What? I will admit, one thing that was prevalent in my school was a lot of pre-teenagers fucking, and nobody really doing anything about it that was constructive. Just, you knew which girls were the whores, and that was basically it. That was all it said. And then you'd hear later about, you know, dudes doing things with the whores of the school, and they all. That's kind of yikes in retrospect, because those were preteens and early teenagers. So, like, it was sort of, you know, at the time, my brain just thought it was normal, but as an adult, my god, that was very, very fucking bad. But again, not as bad as, like, the worst of the horror, of, like, school system horror stories I've heard. Hung out with a lot of lesbians, drank a lot of alcohol. Oh. I got drunk once when I was, like, 16. And then I haven't ever again since then, because I just didn't care for the taste of alcohol. I feel like the dudes were probably equally responsible. Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's just that you never knew who they were. Like, you didn't know which dudes were the ones, you know, trying to, you know, skirt hop between the whores, you know. Been drinking since 13 or 14. I don't know whether to congratulate you or to be worried. But if it's not a problem with your current adult life, then that's good. I stopped years ago? Okay. I was about to say, I hope you're not an alcoholic. Excuse me. Oh, that was disgusting. I apologize. I think this sudden damp storm has loosened my entire sinus. It's like I'm drinking Gatorade from inside my own skull. No, I drank because of parts of my childhood sucked real bad. Oh, well, I'm not going to force you to talk about that if you don't want to. Then I grew up and I got to leave it behind. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. If there's one thing, like, I'm not going to lie. When I first got my disability, it was rough. But at the same time, I was so unbelievably fucking happy to leave the public school system. I was so happy that I had a legitimate, completely unironically real excuse to fucking leave those people forever. I hated that shit. I hated that shit so much. Now I'm at the point in my life, though, where it's like, I can't even really look fondly back on on that type of a memory, though, because being disabled completely changes the entire trajectory of your entire life, and at this point I'm 30, and it's just kind of, it's just a nuisance, you know? It was a good excuse when I was a teenager, because it was a real excuse that was totally legitimate, but now now at this point in my life, there's literally no benefit, and so, you know, in fact, that's part of just the learning experience of dealing with a disability, is you realizing eventually that this is your life now, and nothing is going to magically make it work and make it go away. There's gonna eventually one day there's going to be no benefit to this whatsoever, and you have to actually come to understand that, or else you're gonna want to commit Sudoku. Yeah. feels worse because there isn't really a lot you can say that benefits you anymore, and so it is only detrimental. But goddamn, was it so good to get the fuck out of that school. Oh my god, I was so happy to leave that fucking school. I was dreading high school. I was dreading the idea of high school. And then a sinus infection activated some recessive genes that both my parents had, and now I'm in perpetual pain. At least what age has done for me at this point in my life is that I'm used to the pain. So it's like, it's not like a daily thing anymore where like I am depressed because like, oh god, it hurts so much. No, now it's business as usual at this point in my life. So it's just kind of like easier to accept. Yeah, exposure numbness. When it's perpetual, yeah, you get exposure numbness, at least from an emotional perspective. Which isn't to say that it doesn't bother me. Obviously, it does. But like on a day-to-day basis, I am not perpetually depressed because of the pain. Because there's just been so much exposure. Yeah, that it's just. Yep, this is a thing. I had a migraine a few days ago that wrapped down around and down even my neck. Oh, that sucks. Oddly enough, I actually literally the past 2 nights, I have also had a migraine for like a few hours before I had to take medicine to make it go away, or rather just take the medicine I usually take and then it goes away from that. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Migraine twins? Jesus. I wonder if it has something to do with the weather changing suddenly. Because again, like it went from being super hot yesterday to now it is just a bit humid. And it's like we had a fucking rainstorm with some lightning and shit, you know? So I wonder if the environment maybe did that to me, but I don't know. It's not. It actually is sort of unusual for me to get like a primary migraine type pain. If I get head pain, it's usually just ambient aching. It's not, oh wow, am I dehydrated type of moment? You know, like, oh wow, do I need to eat food or something? Like, why do I have a migraine? This is not actually common. Like I get head pain regularly, but not like a headache, you know? People get sick just from temp shifting by 20 degrees in a day. Yeah, you know what's funny is that happens in Ohio all the time. Because we are one of the Great Lake states, we have this thing called the lake effect. And the lake effect, to make it easy to understand, then again, maybe you also live near the lakes as well, I don't know. You know, could be, could not be. But the lake effect, it's basically when the weather nearby the lake temporarily believes that it's next to the ocean. And so as a result, the lake effect will cause our weather here in Ohio to wildly swing from one extreme to another. Because we may not be next to the ocean, where an insane amount of crazy weather happens, but we're close enough to a body of water that is so fucking massive that it does throw off our weather all the time. All the problems with none of the sharks, yeah. None of the actually cool fish. Well, okay, there are some lake fish that are pretty fucking cool, you know. There's some freshwater monster fish that exist, but they're not sharks, you know. One time when I was a very little kid, I went fishing with my dad and his friend, and we were trying to catch a muskellunge. And those are like a 4 foot, you know, big ass fish, you know? A Muskalung sounds like a Pokemon. Bro, like, honestly, every single animal that you don't know about sounds like a Pokemon, especially when you use their scientific name. But yeah, so like we were trying to catch a Muskalung, which is like a 4-foot freshwater fish, a predatory freshwater fish. Actually, almost all fish are predatory. But it was like a 4-foot predatory fish, and the closest we got was a time when it bit one of our lures, because we were trolling the lake. Not you don't really actively try to fish with like a bobber for a really big predatory fish. You have to troll the lake, which is where you just have the fishing rod just ambiently held by a holder on the boat, and then you just slowly move the boat in one direction, slowly making, you know, a wide berth turn. And you use a special fishing bobber that as a result of the movement, it dives down. So the fishing bobber will dive down. And that's how you actually try to fish for large predatory fish. Because they don't go near the surface in order to get food from bugs. No, they eat other fish, so they live really, really down, you know, in the deeper parts of the lakes. And so you have to use bobbers that both look like little fish and also go really, really deep. So we were trolling the lake, trying to catch a Muskalung, and the closest we got was suddenly our entire boat lurched and like turned like 45 degrees. And then when we reeled in the bobber that had been pulled on that did that, it had like these gigantic holes skewered into it, and it was a metal bobber. It had these giant holes skewered into it. Not giant as in this is a lake monster story, but giant as in, wow, that was a very fucking big fish. That was an insanely big lake fish. Holy fucking shit. It didn't quite eat all the way through the metal, but its teeth pierced all the way through. You know, like, if it had bitten just a little bit harder, it probably would have, like, bent or even ripped the whole bobber in half. Yeah. It was a big ass fucking fish, but we never caught it. Which is fine, because, you know, we'd be throwing it back after catching it anyway, because that's what you do in sport fishing. You know, or in hobby fishing, I should say. Ah yes, the common armor-piercing fish demon. I mean, it's, you know, don't underestimate the lake fish, you know. They can get pretty big and nasty, you know. And not just in South America and Africa. And you know, I'd love to keep rambling, but I'm just seeing the time, and I should probably be finishing up here. We're never wrapping around to get that right there. You're like 18 over, yeah. Fish don't always get enough credit for being scary. Yeah. There are a lot of fish that are not sharks that have massive teeth that will tear you apart. Especially, you know, if you're like unarmed, like an unarmored diver. But okay, yeah, I should really be finishing here. Thank you all very much for being here. I appreciate you coming here to hang out with me. We will be back in 2 days, Friday, if you live in the United States. We'll be playing Kindergarten 3. We are halfway through the game, so I expect that we will potentially finish it this week. If not, we will finish it next week. The Nugget game. Yes, with Nugget. Nugget is the greatest. Will you join the Nugget Club? But yeah, we'll be playing the Nugget game. We might be finishing it on Saturday, but I don't know. We will see. If we don't, then we will do next week, and then I'll have to pick another game for next Saturday. But until then, it's just going to be Kindergarten 3. So, if you happen to be new here and you enjoyed hanging out with us tonight, if you think I deserve a follow, I'd appreciate that quite a bit. We stream 3 times a week for approximately 2 hours, and this stream will be re-uploaded to YouTube tomorrow night, where we'll join every single stream I have ever done. So if there are any you want to catch up on, you can find all of them there. Link is in the About section. Good luck with that. Yeah, and you good luck with your ASCII games, or what. You have a good night. I'm gonna have to get out of here, so thank you all very much for being here. I appreciate your support in every capacity. I hope you have a good afternoon, evening, morning, etc. And I will see you all again soon with Kindergarten 3. Ciao!